Sun's hanging high, afternoon's here. Palm trees sway and the sky's so clear. Grab your stash, take it slow. Take time to talk, let the good vibes flow. Waves roll in, a rhythm so sweet. The sand is warm beneath your feet. In the cove we take it real slow. Take time to talk, let the stress go. Take time to talk in the afternoon. Feel the warmth as it fills the room. Cannabis clouds drifting so high. Kick back, relax, watch the day go by. Take time to talk, breathe it in deep. In the cove where the chill runs deep. Every puff brings peace to your mind. Take time to talk, leave it all behind. Feel the breeze as it kisses your face. Find your peace in the sunny place. Spark it up, let the hours fade. In the cove where memories are made. Afternoon sun paints a perfect light. As you talk, everything feels right. Take your time, let the high take hold. In the cove where the stories are told. Take time to talk in the afternoon. Feel the warmth as it fills the room. Cannabis clouds drifting so high. Kick back, relax, watch the day go by. Take time to talk, breathe it in deep. In the cove where the chill runs deep. Every puff brings peace to your mind. Take time to talk, leave it all behind. Afternoon, feel the warmth as it fills the room. Cannabis clouds drifting so high. Kick back, relax, watch the day go by. Take time to talk, breathe it in deep. In the cove where the chill runs deep. Every puff brings peace to your mind. Take time to talk, leave it all behind. In the afternoon, feel the warmth as it fills the room. Cannabis clouds drifting so high. Kick back, relax, watch the day go by. Take time to talk, breathe it in deep. In the cove where the chill runs deep. Every puff brings peace to your mind. Take time to talk, leave it all behind.
Wake up to me and it's a brand new day. Cove-TV's here, come on, let's play. With coffee in hand and good vibes too. Cannabis and community, all just for you. Cove, we're your TV. The place to be for good times naturally. Game shows and laughs with the crew. Cove-TV's got it all, and it's all for you. Afternoon rolls in, it's time to chill. Marbles and ducks, the excitement's real. From shit to hang until dark. Cove-TV's where the fun leaves a mark. Cove, we're your TV. The place to be for bedtimes naturally. Game shows and laughs with the crew. Cove-TV's got it all, and it's all for you. As evening falls, the energy's high. Dodgeball games and words that fly. Real word, fake word, and stoner roulette. Cove-TV brings the fun you won't forget. Cove, we're your TV. The place to be for bedtimes naturally. Game shows and laughs with the crew. Cove-TV's got it all, and it's all for you. Weekend arrives, it's time to unwind. Recaps and races, the best you'll find. From duck racing to friendly fights, Cove-TV makes your weekend bright. Cove, we're your TV. The place to be for bedtimes naturally. Game shows and laughs with the crew. Cove-TV's got it all, and it's all for you. So light up, relax, let the good vibes flow. With Cove-TV, there's always more to show. From morning to night, we're here to stay, bringing you the best every single day. Cove, we're your TV, the place to be for good times naturally. Game shows and laughs with the crew, Cove-TV's got it all, and it's all for you. In your eyes, I see you shining bright like the morning sky. That's got its ups and downs, its twists and turns, but every step you take is a lesson learned. When the road gets rough and you feel unsure, just know you're a fighter, you're meant to endure. Beanz is here to say you're doing just fine. You got the heart, the strength, you've got the shine. Beanz hopes you have a wonderful day. You're amazing, don't forget, in every way. When life gets tough, just remember this truth. You're strong, you're brave, and you've got the proof. Every challenge you face, every mountain you climb, shows the power within every single time. So smile, stand tall, don't be led astray. Beanz hopes you have a wonderful day. You got that courage, you got that fire. You're the kind of person who lifts others higher. When the weight feels heavy and the path seems long, remember you're built to be tough and strong. You're a rock star, a warrior, no need to pretend. You got the grit and the heart to the very end. So go out and conquer whatever comes your way. Beanz knows you've got this every single day. Beanz hopes you have a wonderful day. You're amazing, don't forget, in every way. When life gets tough, just remember this truth. You're strong, you're brave, and you've got the proof. Every challenge you face, every mountain you climb, shows the power within every single time. So smile, stand tall, don't be led astray. Beanz hopes you have a wonderful day. When the world feels heavy and you're feeling low, just take a deep breath and let that strength show. You're not just surviving, you're living out loud. Be proud of who you are, stand tall and be proud. Life's just a test of how far you've come. You're shining like the brightest sun. So keep your head high, let the worries fade. Beanz is cheering you on every step of the way. You have a wonderful day. You're amazing, don't forget, in every way. When life gets tough, just remember this truth. You're strong, you're brave, and you've got the proof. Every challenge you face, every mountain you climb, shows the power within every single time. So smile, stand tall, don't be led astray. Beanz hopes you have a wonderful day. Hey you, yeah, you're gonna be okay. Beanz believes in you each and every day. So go out there, shine, let nothing get in your way. Beanz hopes you have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Now feel alive. Cove-TV sets the vibe. Motivation on the way. Join the crew, seize the day. Fun and games, endless play. Catch the sun every day. Smile and laugh, don't delay. In the Cove, let's all sway. Cove-TV, feel the breeze. Joy and fun, come with ease. Catch the waves of summer's beat. Find your groove, it's a treat. Best shows under the sun. Every channel full of fun. Life's a beach, watch and see. Cove-TV sets you free. Motivate, elevate. Come on, let's celebrate. Swipe and tap, don't wait. Join the crew, feel great. Cove-TV, feel the breeze. Joy and fun, come with ease. Catch the waves of summer's beat. Find your groove, it's a treat.
Nose dab time.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn button.
Good morning and afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful start to their day. Thank you guys all for showing up. This is super dope. I'm super excited. I don't normally say this, but please share this out. Please share this out. I want to get as many people in here to check out everything that Matthew Cooper has going on. And everybody knows the reason we're here. Without further ado, Coop, you ready, brother? Much love, man. How's it going, brother?
What's going on, guys? Dude, I appreciate you guys having me on, man.
Oh, man.
How you guys doing this morning?
Great. How are you?
I'm at the cloud, bro. I'm always in a good mood when we're here, dude.
Hell yeah, bro. I'm super excited, bro. No worries about the technical shit on Wednesday. It happens, man. We all understand that 100%. So
yeah, but I'm sick of having all the technical difficulties on this end. But it seems like every time you're looking forward to one of these interviews, something has to go wrong and your internet wants to be stupid.
Hey, we've been doing Cove-TV kind of stuff for just over a year now. If anybody knows, we knows, bros, for sure. Man, so I'm very, very excited. Let's start with what have you been into recently, man? How have things been going recently for you?
Honestly, stuff's been going really, really well. Social media is doing well. We have a show this coming weekend in Cleveland, so we'll be at the Cuyahoga Fairgrounds tomorrow from like noon to midnight. And then the council performs at like between 7 and 8. So we got like an hour long freaking set. But no, I got a stand-up comedy deal set in Uniontown, PA, February 21st. We've got the very first opening fights for American Fight Promotions, which that's going to be huge. It's an Ohio-based MMA league. Like, there's a lot of really, really big things coming out in Ohio that, I mean, I need people to get excited for because there's finally stuff to do again.
Yeah, for real. That's the biggest problem is we're growing up. There was never shit to do. I was just sit around and get high and do dumb shit.
We're making stuff to do now, man.
Absolutely. Man, that's fucking wild as shit. So, we'll start with your stand-up shit. What made you start getting into that? How long have you been doing that now? I know it's not been too terribly long.
No, actually, I had done it a lot when I was younger. That was stuff I did in like our high school talent shows. And then when I was older, I had a couple chances to do a couple 15-minute slots at the Laugh House in Pittsburgh. So when I was younger, I had done it a good bit. And then as life be lifing, had kids, got married, kind of fell off from it. So I just started doing it about 2 years ago again. Basically, when my social media started to take off, I had been approached a couple of times. People were like, look, have you ever thought about doing comedy? And I was like, as a matter of fact, yes, I have. And we threw a couple events of our own. And then RL Strength and Conditioning, shout out Rick Lay. I love what he's doing with that program for them kids.
Yeah, I've done some work with him.
He's had a few adult comedy nights and stuff that we've done. And they went really, really well. We had good turnouts for all of them. Everybody seemed to have a really good time. So I figured this year, the two things I want to focus on the most is my social media and comedy and music. So we're starting this year off right, man.
That's dope, man. And yeah, speaking of the music, it all started with one song that you sang live at Simba's wake, wasn't it?
It was actually our Halloween party. It was right after Simba had passed because he was supposed to perform on that bill.
Okay,
and yeah, I had fought my way through doing one of his songs, and I kind of started doing like little random singing TikToks and stuff.
Yeah.
And a local group had seen what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like we were supporting them pretty heavy, and they were like, "Hey, I've got a track." You know what I mean? I kind of like to see what you sound like on it. And I had done heavy metal music for like 13 years when I was younger. Different genre, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I've always been into music. I just never really like sang publicly. So ripping that band-aid off was kind of weird, and everybody like really kind of they gravitated towards it, and it took off. I fell in love with it, so now that's kind of all I want to do. But yeah, no, it started just I was doing a cover of one of Simba songs. Rest in peace, Bubba. Love and miss you every day. But because he was supposed to perform for our Halloween show. So since he couldn't be there, we still wanted him to be there. And we had just done that year before, actually earlier that year, we had done Nothing Else to Do, which was a music video for the last song that he had put out before he put out Cakewalk.
Okay.
So we figured it was fitting. And it just kind of took off from there.
That's crazy, man. And I know there's a lot of Ohio in the house, so tell us about the Holistic Cloud. Let's go ahead and give us a good Holistic Cloud plug.
The Holistic Cloud is a brainchild of Billy Blaze, Bill Schmidt Jr., who's now a councilman in Bel Air.
Yeah.
So going from Mr. Felon to like a well-loved public figure, you know what I mean? But he started he opened the first one in Bel Air, and they had been open for 2 years. Well, it was their second year anniversary when I came on to the team. He's been full steam ahead, but we went ahead and opened up the second store. We do a lot for the community, a lot of community outreach.
You guys do so much for the community. It is crazy.
Well, he was the like premier activist in our area. Like he was going and working with people out of our area, trying to bring some of the legalization and decriminalization stuff down here. And I had been watching. You know what I mean? He had been going he got a team together and they legalized Bel Air like 5 years ago. And everyone's seen what he was out here doing, you know what I mean? Like before it was cool. So when he asked if I'd come join up, it was right after my first page had blown up to like 300 and something thousand followers. And he and Michael had done a painting for me because I started out doing the FAPA stuff online, which was the Fathers Against Predators Alliance, which
Yep.
I still do, but it's not something that I do outwardly because you can still get in trouble for it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We had just had that discussion with somebody else today. So we still have the active bait profiles out there. I still turn in all that information, but technically it's considered entrapment nowadays and all kind of other dumb shit. So when he had brought me on, it was more for like marketing and advertising. And everyone always asks, how'd you get your job at the Cloud? I tell everybody I applied online. I sent all my followers over to Bill.
Oh, nice.
And they pestered him, so I didn't have to. But no, man, he created an environment to where everybody is welcome.
Yeah.
And we have all walks of life. There's people that don't even smoke that come and hang out. And it's just trying to kill that stigma surrounding hemp in the cannabis industry.
For real. And it is crazy because I know that, like, you know, a lot of people talk and it is hard to do things, but a lot of people are just. But you are looking at somebody who has literally stood in front of our government and you know and fought the good fight. So no, I remember we watched that live, bro. That was dope,
dude. When we walked in there, I mean, it's one thing to walk in there just being cannabis activists in regular clothes, but when you walk into the Ohio State House and you've got a weed suit on, the initial look you get is they're like, oh, it's just another stoner, and then you start talking and they realize, oh, these guys know what they're talking about, like, and we're well articulated. I mean, granted, I might act like a heathen, but like we can articulate well. We can beat them at their own game as far as the discussion and the topic we're having. It's a different feeling, man. Because some people you walk in the State House, they are for it. They're like, yo, love it. This is great. You get some that are like, fuck what you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's getting harder these days to be taken seriously just because we're literally smoking a plant. And it's so crazy that you think about how much legalization has gone on in just the last 10 years alone, including Canada, the United States, and even abroad. The fact that it's getting legalization and actually reversing certain diseases has got to be something that people need to look at more, is the fact that that medical use in my eyes is recreational use, whether you know it or not. It's one and the same, so they talk about medical dispensaries or recreational. I think it's just all the same. They just have to classify it for the legal paperwork, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it has to be called something, right?
And that's honestly the part that drives me nuts about it is half the country is fully legal now. The issue that you run into is then you get these states that already have their medical, but yet because it's still federally illegal, they still technically say it has no medical benefit because it's on the Schedule 1 list, which I don't agree with, because then why are we paying a doctor every year to say that we can use this plant and it does work for people? I use Joni Caliotis as a prime example on that
Yes.
one all the time. Miss Joni is amazing, and she is one hell of an activist from our area. She was Ohio's very first medical marijuana patient. She was the first person to get their card in this state, and she was a state worker for years. So you can't say she's just trying to party. She just wants to get high. You know what I mean? Like she was destined and bound for a wheelchair. Now she walks assisted with her cane. If it's going to be a super lot of walking, she'll use her rascal. But she stands out there on the corner with us holding signs. You know what I mean? Like she gets out there and she uses her story and her platform to try and show older people that like there are levels to this shit. You don't
Yeah,
it ain't
for
just a
real.
bunch of young kids out here that are just trying to score fucking dime bags. Like there is real medicinal benefit behind this. And she goes and swims at the Four Seasons 4 days a week when she could barely move. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it
it's
gave her a
crazy.
whole other outlook on life, and she uses it medicinally and still functions every day. We function every day with all that we do with our for the community, everything that we do on a day-to-day basis, and 9 out of 10 we're under the influence of cannabis in some facet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, the exception of driving, we're not, but
Yeah.
Right.
I use
Absolutely.
CBD daily.
Yeah.
I use CBD and hemp products all day long. But when I was getting off of pills, they told me pills were going to kill me. They told me that pills were going to be my undoing. And then they put me on 19 medications when I was in recovery to counteract this, that, or the third, and to help with the chemical imbalance that I was trying to self-sabotage, trying to fix on my own.
And I was gonna ask you too, do you want to tell a little bit of your story of like kind of your recoveries? If that's not too much.
I mean, no, honestly, mine started out, I had hurt my knee when I was younger. I played sports a lot. I had hurt my knee. And so it started as a pain thing. My doctor had prescribed a couple. I broke my collarbone and my wrist at the same time when I was younger, and they prescribed me Vicodin. And obviously my mom micromanaged them, but I liked how I felt. So at the time, they were still really big and out there on the market. So they weren't hard to find.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it started out as just like we were hanging out. Well, after my collarbone and shit had hung up, we were hanging out and we would do a couple here and there. And it just progressively got worse. It wasn't because I had a bad background. It was, I mean, I had two parents that loved me. I had a great household. Like my dad was in the military and then he was a truck driver and in the fire department, very well to do. All my uncles were in the, like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't have the broken home backstory that a lot of people do. I just chose to be an asshole. And I give my parents that credit all the time. Like I chose to go the way I always rooted for the bad guy. I wanted to be the gangster.
Yeah. It's
And
funny
I
how
associated what I was doing with being the cool guy.
Yep. And it's funny because people don't understand that it's not always that you grew up, like you said, in a bad home. It's just honestly almost opportunity. Like if you have and I don't want to say that you had a bad friend, but it's usually somebody else that introduced you to something and you honestly are like, why the fuck not? It's a weird moment because you have this like, why the fuck not in that moment in your life. And then when you look back, you probably never do it again. But it's that moment of realization where, even I looked in the mirror one day and I was like, I jumped back and I changed. I know what you mean. Like it's you got to realize self-realization is something people don't realize. I know it's really cliche.
I had a chip on my shoulder when I was younger. Like I said, now looking back, and that's why, like I tell a lot of people, like, yes, being an addict is it's absolutely a disease, but it is a choice. Like I woke up and I chose to do what I did. I chose to go the direction that I went. I also had to choose to come back from it. So I can't blame anybody else for that. I can't.
For real.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not something that I can blame anybody else for. I made that choice. But at the same time, if I would have had me in my corner, like the person I am now, then I'm fairly certain I might not have made that choice, but I want to be that person that I didn't have back then.
Yep.
I had people that they kind of had the same mentality I did of, you know what I mean, fuck it. And at the time, we didn't know what we were doing. We were young.
Yep,
We
absolutely.
were just rock star lifestyle. I was playing music. It was everywhere. You know what I mean? Like anywhere we went, I could have whatever I wanted.
Yep.
And we were good, like especially for being young kids. We had our shit together. We were really, really good. We were playing in bars way before I should have been. So I introduced myself to a lifestyle that I had no business being a part of.
For real.
And
Yeah,
it
that's a
just
really
got
good way to
too
put it.
it got too out of control. You know what I mean? I was trying to be a person for a lifestyle that I wasn't quite built for. And it grabbed a hold of me. And it had me for, you know what I mean, 12 years, almost 13 years.
Damn.
It was a long time. I overdosed 4 times because everything went from the Vicodin to the heroin, and it just progressively got worse. And then I graduated to the fentanyl, which is something that I absolutely. It sucks. There's no way to get in front of it now because I feel like it is kind of it's out there and it's gotten way too far. But it's one of those things that I really genuinely wish we had more information out there that people could get a hold of, because if somebody would have told me the damage I was doing to my body back then, would I have listened? No. But there's some irreversible shit that came behind some of what I was using that recovery doesn't bring back to you.
Yeah, for real.
So I try to use my story to get that information out there. Like, look, you're free to make whatever choice you want to, and we're going to be here to support you regardless on your way back. But you're going to do some damage that it's irreversible once it's done.
Yes, and you have to
And
do
there's
the
not a
work.
medication
Like,
you can take.
We can't do the work for you. We're here to support you, but like you have to. You will never want to be all right until you're ready to be all right, in whatever case that may be. You know, like for real. I mean, we do the morning speaker every morning, and it dives into all sorts of like motivational, recovery, addiction. You know, it's very, very motivational, and you know, a lot of it is like, you know, you can only control what you can control. But that's also like you can only fix like what you want to fucking fix, like, and when you're ready to fix.
And I was one, like I said, I've always been really hard headed. Always been really hard headed. I overdosed the first time. I kind of like wrote it off like it was a fluke. The second time come around, like, and I was mad at everyone because everyone was like kind of leaving me to my own devices, and I carried that chip on my shoulder, and I feel like it made things worse. But at the end of the day, like, they can only talk to you so much. If you're not going to listen and take their advice, they're not going to keep beating their head off a wall. So looking back, like, I owed a lot of apologies when I got my shit together. A lot of them. And the only people that really even hung in there with me was like my mom, my grandmother, which I give them all of that credit. You know what I mean? Like, they held me down even when I didn't deserve it. And then my wife, having my kids. Because the last one was the one that actually finally scared me, because I was gone. There was a good 7-minute period that I was not breathing. My heart was not beating.
Damn.
Like, I was gone. I wasn't doing that to my kids.
Right.
And then a couple years later, I ended up having a heart attack because, again, I was an IV drug user. So I ended up in the exact same situation a couple fucking months later. And it wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't using anything. I was clean, but the damage had already been done. I already hit the genetic lottery with high blood pressure and shit. And then the stuff that I was using, I beat my heart down, and it just decided to quit on me one day. So I had to wear a Zoll Life vest for like 6 months that was a wearable defibrillator vest.
Damn.
And I didn't want my kids to see me like that, but I also had to explain to them that the reason that happened, it wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, I made that happen. Whether I had been getting clean and finally getting my shit together or not, my actions are what caused that. So I have no one to blame but myself, but it was still scary as shit. And then for them to be as worried as they were after that, the last heart attack, like they were still young, but my oldest son, he was more than old enough to know what was going on. And I feel like he kind of held a little bit of a chip on his shoulder for his younger years, at least until he got old enough to really understand and grasp where I'm coming from. But there's a reason that I push positivity the way that I do. There's a reason that I try to walk around and smile every day, because I'm on borrowed time as it is.
For real.
So I want to make these days count.
That's great, man. That's great. That's fucking wild. So then when did you start doing all the social media and this and like turning your message into, you know what I mean? Like, I guess, go ahead.
COVID. Yeah, when COVID hit, everybody was off. Like I was in the oil field at the time, and we had been traveling, and I was kind of dipping and dabbling with the social media stuff. Like I was on like Facebook, I'd make little videos and stuff, post memes and stuff. But towards the very end of COVID, like the last couple months of it, they finally shut all the rigs down. So like I finally had downtime, and I was driving myself insane. I have ADHD so bad. So just sitting there every day, I had to find something to do. So I started just making random funny videos, just sitting on my front porch, and I made a YouTube channel called the Front Porch Sessions, which is where the whole porch gang thing comes from. It was actually what my followers called themselves, but the new folks, after I lost my first account that were coming in, thought that porch gang was my name, and it just stuck.
That's great.
Yeah, that'll happen. Hey, Beans. Yeah, names kind of stick. I was almost
Right?
my name's quickly. I got like 30 seconds. I'll tell you the Man-Bear
I
story.
need to know because you're supposed to tell me the other day.
So I like you said, I was like, actually, I think it was a year or two after COVID, but I was about to shut my social media down. I wasn't doing lives. And honestly, I got to shout Mike LaCourse, Boston Mike. This guy just got me to come up. Hey, do lives. Let's just smoke. Let's just hang out, And so I live in the Caribou Mountains. So Caribou, I wanted part of the name. And I was like Caribou Man, and we were talking, and me and this guy named John Gideon, Johnny Five, were like, well, what about Caribou Man-Bear Pig? And that was like so funny, like, oh, Man-Bear Pig, like Colorado, blah, blah, blah. And then Europe Entertainment's like, you can't be Man-Bear Pig. You're not from Colorado. You're in Canada. So it turned out to be Caribou Man-Bear. And then it was Caribou Man-Bear for the longest time. And then it just ended up being Man-Bear. So yeah, that's the whole story. I was like, you can't be Man-Bear Pig. You're not from Colorado. I'll never forget that, man.
I think it's funny you brought the Man-Bear Pig thing. But but that's you don't pick your name. Like the people on social media give you your name after a while, and that's just how it goes. So that's why I said it, because everyone asked, what the hell's Porch Gang? And it's like, listen, it's a long fucking story. And it's not how it started, but that's how it ended. And I mean, honestly, I love it. We're 700 and something thousand followers down now. And every page I've been able to bring back, like I've got a very solid following of people that I love the hell out of everybody that shows up and gives me even 5 seconds of your time.
Yeah.
Because the time is, I don't need your money. I'm one of the people, I'm not on here peddling you don't have to send me video gifts. You ain't got to send me stuff like that. If you buy merch, cool. You give me 10, 15 seconds, I'm good. That's what I'm here for. I'm the guy that makes you laugh while you scroll, and I'm okay with my position in life.
Yeah, I like that.
I actually, that's funny talking about names. Like you're right. You don't pick your own names, but I like it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and like,
it's
I
different.
like it. It's funny how everyone's like, oh, do you ever have a problem with everyone change it? I was like, I'm not changing my name, man. I can, the way I scroll through social media and through the Canna fan, like, oh, I'll come in as my name, Michael Hugo, right? But it'll be, hey, Man-Bear. And to me, that's I'm happy that people just know who I am as Man-Bear. That makes me smile. Hey, Man-Bear, what's up? What are you doing today? Like that's all. Like you said, 15 seconds of hey, what's up is such a day lifter upper, and people don't understand. It's really the smallest things can just, oh wow, they said hi to me. I haven't talked to them in like weeks or something. Hey, what's up? Hey, how you doing? Oh, and it starts a whole happy conversation.
Well, see, and that's the other thing is it's a nib shit catcher in a way. It's like, and if you've noticed, most of the people that you follow online are because their name is what grabbed you.
Yeah. Yep. Cops a lot.
Yep. And
the more interesting and out there the name is, the more likely people are to remember it. So that's why when I tell people you mean Porch Gang, it's easy to remember, and everybody always puts it with fucking Mozart or makes Mozart references and shit. But like, if that's how you associate it, then cool. But at least I know that it's gonna stick with you. It was when I meet somebody and I tell, like, I'm in a grocery store and I tell them how to find my TikTok or something. I don't have to repeat it twice, because their first question is, the fuck's Porch Gang? But you said it now too. It's stuck.
Stuck.
Point blank and period.
Yeah, you're gonna go home and definitely put Porch Gang in. Like, right? I don't forget that. He definitely said Porch. Did he say Porch Gang? He said Porch Gang. I heard. Yep. That's the conversation they had.
And then as soon as they type it in, and boom, there I am. It's the best marketing strategy there is, and it's something so simple that people don't think about. So I was like, I'm not gonna change it now. It's already solidified. It's in stone. I'm Porch Gang, motherfucker.
And it
So then
happened so fast. Sorry.
when did you start? You just did your 200th episode of Dabbin with Dads, which
What's
we
that?
did. You did your 200th episode of Dabbin with Dads. We
I did
just
see you
aired
guys
that
aired
last
that.
night, which was great. Much love to everybody that watched that. We will be doing that every Thursday night. We'll be showing last week's episode of Dabbin with Dads at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So what made you start all of that?
Okay, that one is actually like super simple. Dank and I, that's first off, shout out Dr. Dank, love you, Bubba. It's one of my best friends in the fucking world, and we were the stoner dads on our block. There's not a lot of us, so when we would put the kids on the bus in the morning, especially during COVID. He's a stay-at-home dad. His wife makes really good money. I mean, they have a lot of little kids. Like that man's got he's got a startup basketball team at home. Like, the man can't pull out of a driveway. But nonetheless, we would meet up every day after we put the kids on the bus and we would smoke. And then while we would smoke, we'd start session on Facebook and just do little chat topics and just, you know what I mean? Like kind of like morning affirmations, but stoner version. So it started to progress and we started calling it Morning Dabs with Dads. So we would go put the kids on the bus, we'd grab our drinks and shit, set everything up. We had this little freaking phone holder that would hold the phone up. We'd sit on my front porch, blaze his blunt or blaze his bong, and we would just talk. And we noticed that people were really responding to it because of the topics we were having, whether it was parenting, and it was kind of like open forum. We could do and talk about whatever. It wasn't pigeonholed to just being a stoner thing.
Yeah.
So we started doing them a couple days a week. We were doing 3 days a week, which is tough for just a podcast. You know what I mean? Like that's tough. And we did that for like 2 years, 3 days a week, like nonstop, faithfully. Yep. But you start running out of topics and ideas, and you don't want it. You don't want people getting tired of it. So it was something that we cut back to 2 days a week. We were doing Mondays and Fridays, and we were doing a morning and then evening. And then we finally noticed that a lot of people weren't able to make it in the mornings once like the real world opened back up. Everybody went back to their normal lives. So we moved it to the evenings. That way everyone could be there. You didn't have to worry about, you know what I mean, catching it after work and whatever. And it gave people more of a chance to be interactive with us. That's the one reason that we never really switched back to going to full-time, like pre-recorded videos, because people enjoyed that interaction and being able to pull their name out of the thing and saying, hey, you know what I mean? Hey, what's up, Jay? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it makes
Dr. Dank, what up, Bub? I see you. But it's, you know what I mean? So we dropped the morning and we just went with Dabbin with Dads, and we've been running steady now for almost 4 years. Been killing it. We have a very solid core group, and most of our day ones are still in our chats. What up, Bubba? I see you. Most of our people are in there that have been there since day one, which I can't thank you guys enough for sticking it out with us. We've had some awesome interviews, and this year we've got a lot of cool shit lined up. It's just been a progression, and it's one of those things everyone's like, well, what is it? And it's like, it's a vidcast.
Yeah.
We don't call ourselves a podcast really, and we don't pigeonhole ourselves to just cannabis stuff. We try our best to be educational, informational, uplifting, inspirational, controversial, and all the other ulls all at one time. But that way we can literally, it's just a smoke sesh. We can do and talk about whatever. And we try to keep it outside of that box, but still it's controlled chaos.
Yep.
That's a good way to put it.
That's a lot of the world of production is like just the control. Like you just got to keep the ball rolling forward. You just kind of keep aiming it.
And you're right. It's like doing these shows a lot of the time. You're trying to come up with new stuff, and it's not that it's hard. It's just with the way the world's going, you got to really be creative. So, you got to give it up to people who are behind the scenes, like Beanz and that, who does everything for us. Like, much love. Like, you don't see what he really does when he actually does spend hours actually just setting stuff up and that. Like, and then we pop in 5 minutes before a show and we're like, hey, I got a joint rolled. And he's like, yeah, I've been doing stuff for like 4 hours and I've had like 76 nose stabs, and like, I don't know what planet I'm on anymore, but I'm pretty sure we're ready for the next show. Like,
That's Cody. That Cody for us
Yeah.
Camera guy Cody, love you, Bubba. He's our tech guy. He sets up all of our shit. He has it set to where we have our intros. He handles everything while we're on screen. And I tell everybody, all I have to do is show up and be funny. That man is literally the reason that we have been as successful as we are, because he keeps us on task. He's the one that brings us back to the comments when we need to. Like, he does all of that. We would be lost without Cody, for real, for real. Give him all of that credit. Like, he just showed up one day because he would watch our lives, and I've known Cody since he was younger.
Yeah.
And he would get in the comments and be like, "Yo, I'm going to bring down my camera and stuff. We're going to do this the right way." And I'm one of those people that I want to do the stuff myself. Like, I want to be that way. If anyone ever leaves, I don't have to worry about it because I have everything here. So I was like, "Nah, it's all right." You know what I mean? Like, I was buying the stuff slowly so that we could do it as we needed to. One day he showed up because I forgot. He knows exactly where I live because, again, I've known him for years, and I live in the house I grew up in now. He showed up in our garage one day. He knew we were setting up to go live because it was another live like every other one. He showed up, he brought this big ass water cooled gaming PC and had it set up, pulled his table out of his trunk and shit. Like, he had this whole big setup, and he's like, "We're doing this the right way." And we're like, okay. And it just clicked. It works. And he just, you know what I mean? It's been the thing ever since. And I couldn't imagine doing this show without the group of guys that I've got right now. I couldn't do it.
I hear that. With the Cove, we got Man-Bear and we got Sir Copsalot. We got Europe, and then Magic and Kelsey, the Dabber chick, are with us now. And it's been dope. I mean, I hear that, doing seven days a week, it's a lot, but it's so amazing, and it's so inspirational in itself because of all the amazing people that turn out. And like, I'm, for real, like, to see everybody that shows up every day, and it's like, it makes an impact. Everybody talks about how much like shows and podcasts and stuff like that. Cause like, I get what you're saying about the podcast. I don't like to call the show it's a show. Like, we are a show. And it's crazy to see how much of an impact it can make. And like, that impact in itself, it makes an impact on me for real.
Yeah, because you know that you're actually helping people. Like people don't realize how powerful words really are, and the ministry of presence. Just knowing that you're there, you're at least telling them, "Look, you're not going through shit alone."
Yeah.
It can be invaluable to somebody, because there's a lot of people that don't have anyone, or at least feel that they don't have anybody because they don't have immediate family around them. They don't have a shitload of friends. Like, I know what that position feels like to be in. And again, I want to be that person that I didn't have. And the internet was the one place that I could do that and be more places at one time.
Yeah. That's funny you say that, because most of these people actually met me before I went live, and what I was actually doing is coming into comments and throwing out random song lyrics to make people sing while they were on camera. I'm talking like Britney Spears, like, just Barbie Girl, Yellow Submarine. But dude, people would laugh. The reaction I would get from people were so funny. You'd see them start singing Free Bird or something, and my biggest one was Pour Some Sugar on Me by Def Leppard or whatever, and like, people would just laugh because that one song lyric would get in your head, and it would take away 20 seconds of your day's stress and just make them, maybe it would push them towards having more of a positive day. You know what, that was crappy, but I'm going to push forward and just, I'm going to forget about that for now, go deal with that later, which is so hard to do. And we had one speaker who was talking about positive and negative procrastination, and I always keep that in my head,
Yep. No, we that's kind of the biggest thing that we say about the show, and we tell everybody at the beginning of most of them. It doesn't matter when you're coming in for that hour show. Stress doesn't matter. Kids shit doesn't matter. Work doesn't matter. Shut your brain off. We're not talking about anything other than real life, and we're going to laugh for this hour. After that, go back to do whatever it was you were going to do, and whatever issues you were having will still be there when you get back. Our show is that break. Come laugh, shut your brain off. It's mindless fun. You don't have to think a lot to follow along. You know what I mean? You ain't got to smoke. Just come take it at the sesh.
That's kind of like
hour long. Chill.
That's kind of like what the Cove has become, so the morning shows is a good, it's like hey, let's start the day. Let's fucking have coffee, community with each other, uplifting songs, fucking do what we do the morning speaker, which is like really something to think about. And then in the afternoon, it's hey, let's fucking kick back, play a game, whatever. Like, there are no real prizes. Like, there's nothing that you're gonna get sent or anything like that. Like, I always just say, like, it's like family game night. When you win, you just slap your brother and call him an idiot. Like, that's basically all it is. It's like, you know, like, all our games are is we have, like, you know, like, little trophies and stuff like that, you know, people get. But I mean, like, for the most part, like, it's just I always say, check your fucking baggage at the door. Like you were saying, that's amazing. Like, your problems will, I promise you that your problems will be there when the show shuts off. And I hate to say that, but it's the truth. And two, like, just be yourself. Just be who you are. Don't you have to, there's no masks to wear. Like, I want to see who you are, because I'm going to appreciate you for who you actually are. Like, it's okay to be not okay. It's okay to be weird. It's okay to be a recovering addict. It's okay to go to fucking church every Sunday. I don't give a shit what you do. I'm not your mom. I just want you to come in and, like you said, like, come put your fucking name on the wheel. You don't even have to smoke. We're all just gonna sit here and talk shit and laugh and make jokes and do dumb shit for 2 hours, and then when we're done, we'll see you guys later. You know, much love, and that's how it. You know, and
it's. But
that's why. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, that's why people love what you guys do over here. Like, I thoroughly enjoy the vibe you guys have built over here on Cove-TV. Like, you guys, it's like-minded people, and I send people over here all the fucking time, because especially if I'm not able to be on there, I'd rather them be in you guys' hands, because again, like you said, people can drop that mask. You don't have to fake the funk. You don't have to pretend you're something you're not. You don't need to make $1 million. I don't care if you're gay, straight. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Just be yourself and go have a good time. It's simple.
It's
and that's
why.
Well,
go ahead, member.
I was saying, that's why, like, the games were created. That's why, like, Token Tunes is such a, like, thank you again for coming out for Token Tunes. That's, like, one of our favorite shows, because that is probably one of the nights that I feel like more myself than any other night, because we make these lists and they're 80 songs and everyone's like, oh, that's crazy. But then it's 4 of us. They all get scrambled up, and, like, we don't know. None of us know what songs are going on. It literally just pops on. And that's what I love about it. It gives you, like, that good kind of anxiety. And then, you know, if you smoke with us. So if you smoke along with us, you're going to have a really good night, and you get to listen to good music. I'm sorry, there's no negative to that.
Right.
No, there is no downside to that. And I mean, it was a lot of fun. Even not knowing you guys like that, just the guessing in general makes it fun. Because if you're wrong, it's funny. If you're right, it's even funnier. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was a good time.
And you know, like, the games themselves are interactive enough. You know what I mean? It's not like you have to, like, jump through 3 hoops and then hold an apple on your head or whatever the case may be. You know, like, just come and interact. The games will basically play themselves. You just have to come in and hang out and, like, feel included. That's all we want, is, like, you play the game to have for yourself. I don't know.
No, and you're right. It gives you something to do, and again, it's mindless entertainment. It's something you can shut your brain off and just do. And that sometimes you people need that, and people it's a lost art form of just doing shit. No rhyme or reason, just doing shit. Some people are so in their heads constantly, they have forgotten how to turn them the fuck off. And I have ADHD. I know more than most that it's hard to silence your brain sometimes, but you have to learn how. And if anything that involves music is going to be soothing. You know what I mean? I don't care what it is, whether it's music you like or not. Anything that you involve music in is immediately one of those things that, okay, I don't have to worry about the bills right now, but why do I remember that song? I haven't heard it since 6th grade, but I still remember every word to it. You know what I mean? Like, you're not putting all that stress on yourself and strain on yourself. It's something that you can just do and just be and exist. It's a lost art form, man, and you guys are bringing it back. I like it.
I appreciate that a lot, man. It's been an amazing journey. And, you know, and, like, I've always tried to thrive on, like, different strokes for different folks. Everything, you know, there's something different for everybody. And so that's why, like, the morning shows are a very different vibe from the afternoon shows, from the night shows, as they should be. You know, the morning show is, like, nice and chillish and calm and, like, let's go, let's wake up. The afternoon is more like kick back, let's chill. And the night show is like, hey, let's fucking, it's the night show, let's go. Like,
let's vibe.
Let's vibe, right. And so, I feel like the way that you approach people, and you know this with being, like, an influencer and everything yourself, like, nobody wants to be told what to do, but everybody would like to know the information. And so it's like you were saying, you know, even with being an addict and everything like that, like, you know, I can't tell you to have a fucking good day. All, you know, like, just do it. Just fucking do it. But instead I can be like, hey, I hope you have a fucking wonderful day. Like, I truly mean that shit. Like, it hits differently.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, it's more personable.
Yeah.
For real.
I always steal the Ted Laszlo line saying, be more curious than, judgmental, because it's true. I'd rather have questions and conversations with people than people just being like, oh God, like another smoker, like I wear a weed hat out, and I had some lady at the store the other day, she wouldn't put her food down on the conveyor belt because I had my weed hat on, and you could hear her like just saying something about, and I'm like, really? I'm like, I was going to be like, it's a weed hat. I'm like, it's legal. Like, this is 2025. Like, are you serious?
Right?
Like,
But see,
like
and
that to me almost bothered me. And that shouldn't, but you know what I mean? I was like, are you serious? Like, I wanted to be like, here, have the hat. I want to like throw it at her, but that's not who I am, like.
it bothers you because it's one of those things that the veil has been lifted for you. You see that all walks of life use cannabis, and most
Yeah.
people who are super judgmental like that, half their family use the shit around them and just don't tell them because they're so judgmental. But it's one of those things that it's 2025. We know Google's free. I used to forgive people for their ignorance because some people just don't know. But everything that we own nowadays is affixed to the internet. And again, Google is very free and takes but 4 seconds to go do some fucking research. But we're trying to help lift that stigma for those who refuse to do that
Yep.
research. We'll go ahead and just put it in black and white for you. Not all potheads are bad people. Not any potheads are bad people. And the problem that you have with a lot of these older folks are A, they still believe reefer madness. B, they still associate potheads with drug addicts. And it's
Yeah.
a vastly different conversation. And even then, even if somebody is a drug addict, you still don't hate them. They made a choice and they're going through it enough on their own. I'm
For
not saying you
real.
have to agree with their choices. I'm not saying you have to coddle them. I'm not saying you have to even be okay with it, but you have to understand it. It is a mental disorder. It is a chemical imbalance that instead of if there was more easily accessible help, you'd have a lot more people that would get clean. But the problem is they
Yeah.
make and as someone who's gone through it many times that didn't stick, they make you jump through so many hoops that by the time you're ready to get the help, you already like, well, fuck, this is why I'm using drugs to begin with.
Right?
Like they make it harder on purpose because there's no money in healing you, but there's a lot of money in treating you.
For
Yeah.
real.
Like there's programs, but the problem is the government won't get involved with the programs that unfortunately are high dose edible programs. And I'm talking like 500 to 1,000 milligrams of full of THC, full of CBD. But the thing is the high dose edible program is getting people off of every single illicit drug out there within 7 days if they're doing the proper regimen, which is hard because you have to take the edibles and you have to eat like somewhat of a healthy diet because, like you said, damage is already done to you if you are one of these people into your own body. So if you do this regimen, you have to stick to it, and you're probably going to be consuming around 2,000 milligrams of cannabis in an edible per day, but within 7 to like 30 days, you will no longer go back, but you will probably consume cannabis for the rest of your days to stay off. But
Yeah.
would you rather consume cannabis for the rest of your days or die at an early age? And that's being brutal.
No, and you're absolutely right, and that's the biggest thing that's why I use my platform the way I do because cannabis saved my life, and they're even just not even just edibles. You have RSO, Rick Simpson oil, that is another really good thing that people can use, and it's available to get. It's not super expensive, and you're taking a rice-sized grain of it 2 to 3 times a day. That helps with cancer. It helps with stomach issues and stomach problems, Crohn's disease. It helps with seizures, epilepsy. It helps with rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, like MS, lupus. Like there is a huge list of things that this works for, but it does help, and you can use it as another form of medically assisted treatment. The problem is if you don't kill that stigma, most of these states won't even pick these programs up. And
Yeah.
because their programs are already set through the insurance companies, and most of them, as someone who's gone through it, who had state insurance, you're still paying out of pocket, and a lot of people can't afford to go to rehab because you have bills, you have, you know what I mean, like you've got utilities, you have kids, you've got real life situations, and outpatient isn't enough for most people that have jobs and stuff. So it's kind of a catch 22, and they make it like that so that way some can get off That way they have their success stories, but the others still stay in the rat race. And they're paying that money, and they're paying money hand over fist, just trying to stay alive because of a fucking decision they made. That's one of the things that I want to see change here in the next couple of years. Is I want to change the stigma surrounding addicts and addiction and the way we deal with them, and I want to change some of these policies so that you do have some more programs out here that people that are more easily accessible, so you do have more success stories. You've got less people dying alone in bathrooms because they're not so afraid of getting in trouble with their addiction and being,
Right.
you know what I mean, and being jailed for having an addiction versus getting the help that they need.
You get down to the point is, why does it always have to be private citizens and private companies helping out all these people when the government should be getting more involved? And I'm not going to get political, but it's true. You
Yeah,
have to
absolutely.
understand that on a certain scale, the private citizen, the small corporations can only do so much. At a
Oh, yeah.
scale that we need things done, it has to be done on a more of a federal level, and
Yep.
it's not happening right now. And that's basically the problem, is the fact that we don't have the resources we need to help the people that need help. Like you said, they're going to have success stories, but you're going to have a lot more stories that aren't being told because they literally just don't have the resources. We don't have it, and until we get to that point, unfortunately, it's going to keep getting worse. So you're right. Trying to even stay positive and do positive shows these days is really difficult because of everything that's going on. But hopefully, we can make a difference for some people, because I think that's the goal. I always say 2 steps forward and 1 step back is still 1 step forward.
Facts.
Because,
You're still making progress.
progress,
I
not
don't know
perfection.
how much time you still have, Coop, but I figure before you go, if anybody has any questions they'd like to ask or anything like that, we can pull some questions up, do some rapid fire questions.
Oh, absolutely. And actually, I want to take a second. Shout out to chat, man. Everybody that showed up for this one. I've seen you guys super engaged in here. I haven't gotten to be in the chat as much as I'd like to, but
Same.
thank you guys for coming and kicking it for sure.
Yeah, it's been a great time, and I appreciate you coming on, man. I know that you're the super busiest dude in Ohio for real, and so
Yeah, things have gotten pretty busy, but no, I cleared out a little bit of my morning. I do have to go here soon, however, but I cleared a decent bit of the morning out because, like I said, I want to be able to hang out over here. You guys, I love the vibe you guys have going on here, and I mean,
appreciate that.
I enjoy getting to go on other people's shows and hearing their stories. You know what I mean? Like, it's another way of casting that net because now my people see you and your people see me. So therefore, I now have a new soapbox to stand on and get that message across regardless. So listen,
Yeah,
I'm
for real.
always down, Bubba. Always down.
All right, Chris says, give us more in depth about the Cleveland get together.
Okay. It's Cannabis, Tattoos, and Music Festival. It's going to be from noon to midnight. Starts tomorrow. The council goes on between 7 and 8 o'clock. I have a few friends, like my buddy Brett will be set up. He's a tattoo artist. The Holistic Cloud will be one of the featured booths, but you'll have a lot of other cannabis companies that'll be there as well. And if it's anything like CannaCon was when we went down there for that, like this is going to be dope. You get some of the biggest companies in the country that show up to these things. And like I said, they have music. They got some of the best DJs they could get that they had the money and budget for. So, I mean, it's going to be a good time. So if you come ready, they're going to have a little tent on the outside that will be heated so people can go out and smoke too, which is dope. But we'll be performing, I believe we're performing like a full set tonight. And we will have Billy Blaze there with us doing his thing, which if anybody gets a chance and you can, go show Billy Blaze all the love in the world. My man said gone through a couple things here the last couple days, so he could definitely use all you guys' love and all your support. And he deserves it regardless. I'm going to take
For
3
real.
seconds and not talk about me. You got him, Michael Alisea, like Michael, his artwork, it's phenomenal. Let me just take 3 seconds here. Hold on.
Art plug, hashtag art plug.
Listen, the man has done our entire store.
Let me go full screen here.
Like, the dude's artwork is just phenomenal, out of this world. It has put us in some of the coolest situations. Like, we got to hang out and smoke with Jelly, and Plug got to do a painting of Bunny and Jelly. Like, he's gotten to do paintings for, like, Who the Fuck Is Justin Time. He's gotten to do them for Fedora Mike. There's a huge list of people that he's gotten to do artwork for, but even more importantly, we've gotten to stand there beside him while he gives them these paintings, and his artwork brings a whole different type of positive feeling to an event. You know what I mean? But him and Bill are like that's adding those two to this group it's a fucking powerhouse. You know what I
That's
mean?
fucking great.
Bill will put every dime and every drop of energy he has into making somebody's day better. Like, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
Into making the community better. I can't be more happy, proud, and impressed with the group that we've got around us. So if you guys haven't heard of Billy Blaze, you have now. Go check him out. He's got strains on the legal market. That man has been putting in work for free for the last 10 years as far as activism. He's gotten half of Ohio decriminalized and helped. He was on the first couple boards that have even served for cannabis in Ohio. Like, the man has put Ohio back on the map as far as cannabis. There's a lot of people in Ohio that do try to take the credit that he has. So I make sure that every chance I get, I set that record straight. Like, that man he's for the people. Point blank. So if you guys get a chance, go show Billy Blaze all the fucking love. But he's probably going to be throwing out stuff and doing what he does. So if you are at the show, make sure you're up front when we perform, because that man throws out everything and the kitchen sink. It's going to be a really good time. So if you have the evening available tomorrow, stop in Cuyahoga Fairgrounds. You're definitely going to want to see what's up. It's going to be a good time.
All right. Kay asks, she got you a bump box last Christmas. She says, do you ever use the bump box?
I have. Yes, I have. And shout out Kay. Kay is actually one of our OG followers as well. Absolutely love her. But yeah, she sent me a big bump box. There's a king size bump box. And yeah, that's actually what I was doing most of our pre-rolls with there for a while. And then I got an actual 1 1/4 size bump box as well. So now we just use both. So where I could do 72, now I can do all of them.
Nice. All right. Vicky asked, what would you say your biggest achievement besides getting clean is?
Being a good dad.
Ooh, I like that.
All the social media shit aside, my mom, as supportive as she's been, she was worried when I first started having kids because I was on a really bad path and a very self-destructive path. I was kicking doors in and doing dumb shit. Like, I wasn't the same person that I am now. I had a chip on my shoulder. I was angry as fuck. And it was kind of put in my head from like the jump that I was going to ruin my kids' lives if I didn't get my shit together. So getting my shit together and seeing the relationship that I was able to build with my kids on like my kids are my best friends, hands down, point blank, cut and dry. And like, they are my biggest supporters. My daughters, who helped me put my page together. My son does so much content with me just because being a dad's probably my biggest and greatest accomplishment ever. I owe absolutely everything that I've done at this point to them, because I want, again, to be that person that I didn't have. My dad, as much, he's an amazing man, smart as fuck, strong-willed, hardworking, but he didn't quite understand me the way I would have liked him to. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good at sports, man's man, but like, I'm weird. You know what I mean? Like, I'm weird. It is what it is. He didn't understand me as well as I would have hoped he would have. So I try to push my daughter's really she's a gifted artist. She's really good at what she does. I try to push that. My son is a video gamer. My dad didn't quite understand the video game, and you know what I mean? Like, I understand that there's worse things that he could be doing, and my son is really fucking good at video games. Like, he could tear one apart and build it for you, and you know what I mean? Like, he could do that before he was fucking 7. Watching that kid build Legos and shit, and like, he could build like whole Lego sculptures and stuff in like an hour and a half at the age of 4. Like, he's gifted. I try to push that. I encourage that. I embrace their weird. So yeah, being a dad, man.
All right, Amber asks, how are you feeling about going back to stand-up?
Nervous but excited. I like making people laugh anyway. I like, you know what I mean? Like, I enjoy making people laugh. It's something that genuinely brings me a sense of peace because I know that for at least that couple minutes, like your life ain't that bad. Your fingers out of the your toes out of the trigger guard, so to speak, for
Yeah.
at least that hour. So I'm excited. I want to get a few more shows booked a little closer to home, just because there are so many people that do enjoy coming and seeing the stand up. But a lot of times it's always like an hour or two away from where we're at. So I want to get some closer shows. But no, I mean, nervous going into it because it has been a couple months since the last time I took the stage. But I've had a I've had a routine in the chamber for a while that I've wanted to throw, but the last couple events we'd had, there were a few younger people there, and I just didn't feel comfortable firing those jokes off
Oh yeah, yeah.
after I read the room. So I'm excited for this one because it is an all adult venue. So I have a chance to tell some other jokes that I wasn't able to tell last time. So I'm excited.
All right, Coop. Well, I'll throw you on the big screen, let you plug yourself real well, and let everybody know what you're about, and we'll call it an interview, bro.
I appreciate you, Bubba. First, I want to shout out Cove-TV for having me on. It's always a blast every time I get a chance to come hang out with you guys. I want to shout out my Weedsuit Hero brothers. If you guys haven't heard of us, check us out. We're on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere else. But we are activists from Ohio. A lot of people wonder where the weed suit came from. We carried around clipboards that had weed leaves on the back of them, and you'd be surprised how many people will cuss you out for being on their property with a weed leaf on your clipboard. But when you show up with a suit and tie on, even if they're not okay with it, even if they absolutely hate weed, they're still going to giggle and at least make fun of your suit. So it opens up that line of communication. So what started as a snazzy joke, just to kind of, get people to have a discussion with us, turned into something way bigger than we ever could have imagined. And it's because you guys received it as well as you did. So thank you guys for that. But if you guys have checked out the Weedsuit Heroes, you guys need to. Fucking love those guys. The Council, my brothers, it's Jag the Apostle, Maul Black, Manny Devine, Billy Blaze, Zach Wright. Zach is a gifted he's a gifted guitar player. Like that man he can play guitar, drums, piano, tambourine, kazoo. Like the boy, he's just a gifted musician. Maul and Jag have both been doing this. Hi, baby. Have been doing this shit for like 20 years. They are literally some of the best lyricists I've ever met in my life. Jag's the easiest person to work with, but as far as production, he lives in the studio. I've got some of the most creative and genuinely good people around me every day, all day. It just makes me want to be a better person. So if you guys haven't checked out the Holistic Cloud, Porch Gang, Dabbin With Dads, the Council, Weedsuit Heroes, you've got plenty to look into and so much more. We've got events. God, too many to mention right now, but I'll get you a list so we can get them posted up. But if you guys are in the Cleveland and Cuyahoga area tomorrow night, I'd like you guys to come out to the Cuyahoga Fairgrounds, come show support, hang out, kick it. Yeah, if not, if you're in the Uniontown, PA area or able to drive, I'll be in Uniontown, PA, February 21st doing stand-up comedy. And then the 22nd will be in Cincinnati for the American Fight Promotions first big actual fight card, which I can't wait to see that get off the ground. And you might even see the Council and the Weedsuit Heroes there doing a little performance as well. So, I mean, we have some really, really big things coming up in 2025. I need you guys to like, subscribe. As always, be decent human beings. No grippy soft vacations. Don't end up in the bing bing from pimp slapping that annoying coworker. Do something good for somebody other than yourself. And, well, follow Cove-TV. Love you, Beanz, man. Man-Bear, thanks for having me on again. Let me know if there's any available openings. I'd love to come back on. I'd like to get you guys on Dabbin With Dads and show you guys how we do things over there.
I'd love that.
I would love to. Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck yeah, man. Well, it's a date. Love you guys, man. Thank you guys for always coming out, always supporting. Love, peace, chicken grease. Hit the rock. Don't smoke it. Drive safe. Wear condoms. Love y'all.
Much love, Coop.
Oh, man. Amazing. Absolutely
That's
amazing.
great. That's dope. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. That was awesome. Suppose we'll play one more song and smoke with you guys and call it a morning after morning show. Man-Bear, make it quick.
Amazing. Much love, Matt Cooper, man. Everything he's got going on, make sure you go like and follow him. Spread some love and positivity, and we will catch you later.
Much love, everybody. Thank you guys so much. It has been a wonderful, wonderful morning. Much love to Matt Cooper, Weedsuit Heroes, Bill Blaze Council, Dabbin With Dads, everybody. It's been a great, great morning. I hope to see everybody back this afternoon for marble racing and Basement Brawl tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a wonderful day, and we'll go with some cheers, everybody.
The sun is rising, the breeze rolls through, palm trees swaying, sky's clear and blue, toes in the sand, bowl in our hand, living easy, life feels so grand. Every breath a gift, we take it slow. The coast where good vibes always flow. Kicking back under skies so wide. In this tropical dream we let joy reside. Toes in the sand, ball in our hand. We drift away, life's perfectly planned. Jazz in the air, waves kiss the shore. In the cove we couldn't ask for more. Toes in the sand, roll in our hand. With every puff we understand. The world fades away in this peaceful land. Toes in the sand, roll in our hand. Mango skies turn to golden light. Another day that feels just right. Smoking slow as the moments pass. Each hit smooth like sea over glass. Feel the rhythm, let troubles go. In the cove we find our flow. Laughter and love in every spark. Living right till it gets dark. Toes in the sand, ball in our hand. We drift away, life's perfectly planned. Jazz in the air, waves kiss the shore. In the cove we couldn't ask for more. Toes in the sand, ball in our hand. With every puff we understand. The world fades away in this peaceful land. Toes in the sand. Mango skies turn to golden light. Another day that feels just right. Smoking slow as the moments pass. Each hit smooth like sea over glass. Feel the rhythm, let troubles go. In the cove we find our flow. Laughter and love in every spark. Living bright till it gets dark. Toes in the sand, ball in our hand. We drift away, life's perfectly planned. Jazz in the air, waves kiss the shore. In the cove we couldn't ask for more. Toes in the sand, ball in our hand. With every puff we understand. Oh, every puff we understand. The world fades away in this peaceful land. Toes in the sand.
Much love, everybody. We'll catch you all later.